Good morning, everybody. Kate here at Second Verse Paper Studio. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today I am working on creating some see-through Specimen Slide pages for a grungy little prairie-themed junk journal I'm working on. It's feeling pretty destructive and messy, so I really wanted to get into just some real grungy stuff. But yesterday I was able to get out for a walk, and now that the snow is finally gone, the road ditches and the riverbanks and stuff are full of these dried grasses and blown out seed pods and things from last fall. And I collected a whole basket full, and I decided I'd like to try using them in a journal. These have just been drying all winter. They haven't been pressed or anything. Some of them are kind of brittle, but I've got 3 done. I'd like to do a 4th, and I thought maybe you guys might like to join me and follow along as we attempt to get something else wrangled into one of these little pouches. So the idea is we take a journal page. We're going to use this one here. This is from a magazine. It happens to be about Minnesota prairies and things, so we're going to punch a hole in it. And the idea is to have one fully decorated side, and you go ahead and punch it. Like in this case, I got all my map and my wax paper and stuff glued on, and then I punched through. That way everything was lined up. Then you flip over and you make a little sheet, take a little sheet of plastic and you make a little pouch. And we put our little specimen in there and glue it down, and then we have this decorative frame piece already punched, already glued together, ready to go, and we just glue it over top to seal everything up. You can see in these other ones, this one had kind of an irregular frame. This one here did the red again. So the idea is it's completely enclosed. Even if it falls apart, you just wind up with like a grassy shaker page, I guess. I am using a piece of transparency film. It's this stuff. It's pretty sturdy. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it in the thrift stores sometimes. If you don't have this, you could use a page protector, like slip sleeve thing. You know, like you put in a binder and you slide your papers in. You could use one of those. You could use the plastic from like the window on the macaroni boxes. The plastic piece in there is actually quite a bit larger than the windows. I've used those before. You could even use a Ziploc bag, especially if you have like one of the thicker freezer bags instead of like a sandwich bag. Use pretty much any clear plastic. Just keep in mind that the sturdier your plastic, the bigger your window can be. And I happen to have, let me get a mess over here. I happen to have a 3.5 inch circle punch, which is quite large. These are relatively expensive. Honestly, I wouldn't own one at all, except I found this in a thrift store for just like $2. So I'm going to use what I've got. You can freehand cut something. You can use a slide cutter to get like a rectangular shape out of it. Whatever you would like to do. But we're going to start. I like this Prairie Grasses page. I am happy with it as is, so we're just going to punch a hole right in the middle. And I have one I punched out of another of these pages, so we can kind of figure out our placement. Thinking right about there. That way we still get the grass names at the top and most of the text and lots of the drawings. So I think we're going to do it right about here. I'm just going to put a little dot on there, right in the scientific name. That's where we're lining up. And at the D and at the A. Now here's the problem with my punch. My punch, as you can see, doesn't have a lot of space past the circle, so like I can't slide in and get to the middle of the page. So because I'm doing such a grungy journal, another crease or two is not a big deal. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold this in half, right up to the crease where it's going to be sewn into the signature. I'm working outside the journal this time, and then I'll sew them all in at the end, just because I'm making such a mess of it. Alright, and I'm going to do this upside down so I can see my placement. Alright, right in the middle of the scientific name. And then on the sides of this thing, I've got these little arrows. I don't know if you can see them. These little arrows that show me where halfway is. So I can line up my crease there with the arrows. Make sure I'm lined up on my dots in there. There's my A, perfect. Going for it. Oh, I don't think I cut all the way through. That'll be exciting. I didn't, my page is too flexible. This one is a little old. It doesn't slice very neatly. But that's okay. What we'll do is just finish it with the scissors. As I said, it's a very grungy journal. We're okay with it. Alright. And I can save this if I want it for something else. But there's my hole. And as I said, this page is fully decorated. I'm not going to do anything to it except maybe stick like a field label or something on down at the bottom. But I don't need anything else up here, so that's why we were able to punch right away. Set that aside for a minute. Alright, now we need to get a decorative piece made for this side. Got lots of green and yellow, so I think what we're going to do, I have a scrap of this stuff. We're going to get it all placed, and we're going to glue the decorative pieces together, and then we will mark where we need to punch it, and we will go ahead and punch it once it's all together. I'd pulled some decorative stuff. Something like that would be fun. Then I have this bird book. I fussy cut a starling out of it, because we have starlings out in the grass. And make sure I'm not going too high. Something like that. I'm trying to decide if I want to frame out the tag. Yeah, I do. I like that. Looks like it's one piece. So something like that, and it will have a big old hole in the middle of it. So we're going to glue this from the top down. Doesn't matter if it's exact. We will punch and line it up after the fact. And we're not gluing to the main paper yet. Oop. Alright, well, we're just going to go for it. It's a pretty rough collage anyway, right? This gold that I really love is actually the background from the starling picture. Watch me make a mess. I'm going to keep that kind of low. There, just to set it off. Alright, and then this goes that way. Right? So, something like this. kind of like that. It's kind of fun. We need a big solid piece like this to cover up the plastic. So, next step is I'm going to clip this on. Just a couple paper clips to hold it in place for a minute so we can mark where we need to punch this page. Because I like this placement. And this looks weird right now because it's just this big solid green thing. But again, we're going to have a hole. We're going to have some prairie stuff in there. So I'm going to go ahead and mark all the way around here because I've had issues in the past getting the fold lined up right. This way we can just line up the curve wherever it falls. And it should match up just fine. Alright. And I think we're going to try to get in from the top here because there's not much of an edge there. Oh, nice. Alright, so we're all lined up. There, we got a good punch. Ta-da! So now, this will glue on like that. And we have this piece left over to use elsewhere in the journal. I'm hanging on to all of those. I'm terrible. I do use my scraps, but I save everything. Alright, now we gotta make this pouch. What I have been doing is using my punch piece to size my plastic. I don't want a lot of overhang. I want just enough that I can glue it. So I'm going to put this on the slide cutter here. And we are going to cut it about there. Make sure we're straight. That'd be the next thing. Alright, and then I believe we can just, you can either fold in half and crease it really well, or you can cut it and have two pieces. I've just been folding them. It doesn't want to stay folded at first, but I have been able to crease it well enough using the back of my scissors that I think it'll be just fine. I do put a little line and glue in there, but it's one less spot that I can slide out of. So what we're going to do is we're going to have the folded side be the bottom because it's a little taller than it is wide, and we have more frame top to bottom than we do side to side. So this is going to go under this and on this page. Now we got to get a specimen for our specimen slide. I don't know how these are going to work in here. They might just get crushed. I've got mostly the really 3D stuff right now. But like this one is really, really pretty. And I just broke it because of course I did. But I think I might try that. And what I've been doing is laying my circle underneath so I can kind of get a feel for where I need it to sit. So like this one I can pull way down here to the corner because I want all those to show in that circle. And what I'm going to do is put a dot of glue on the stem to hold it in place. It's not sliding around. I'm going to open this up, and this is going to go way down here towards the corner. Alright. Glue around the edge. I really hope this one works. If it does, it's going to be fantastic. If it doesn't, it's going to be terrible. Like, there's no in between here. Alright. Whoop. Stick down again. The thing about this project, I'm getting covered in glue. We're going to just flatten it out as gently and evenly as we can. And then I happen to have a couple of binder clips. And right down here by the creased corner, it really needs a hand. Staying shut until that glue can set. There it is. My desk is an absolute mess right now. Doing too many things, too many messy things. Right. I'm just going to clip this too. I'll let that sit for just a minute and let the glue kind of lock up. That's a really thick piece. Alright, meanwhile, put any finishing touches on this. I think I want to do just a pinch of stamping while we wait. Use this for scratch paper. Because again, this whole thing is just kind of distressed and grungy. I want it to all go together. Here's just a little bit of speckles. A little bit down here. That's nice. And on this side, I've got a little bit of inking happening. I've got a little bit of grunge. We're gonna go for broke here. Right up around the circle. I like that a lot, actually. I'm just clearing the ink off of this. Alright. Got that going. Alright, that should be set enough for us to work with. So remember, this side is done. We're leaving this as is. So we need to flip it over to the back. Truth time. We're going to pull our little clips off. I love Fabrifix because it is like tacky set right now, which is kind of awesome. We just need to decide. Oh, okay. I did not plan this. I could not have planned this, but how perfect is that? That's where it's going. I just decided that's what's happening. All right, we need to put some glue around the ring and then around the edge of this. So circle on here, square on here. That way it gets good and stuck down. Oh my gosh. Happy accidents, man. Channeling Bob Ross right now. I'm so excited. Let's see if I can line it up again. That's so random. And it would have been fine if it didn't do that, but oh my gosh, it did. Okay, that makes me so happy. You have no idea. I mean, you might. I'm making weird noises right now, but right there, we got right there. Looks like I went and grabbed a piece of that grass. Which is kind of the vibe I'm going for with this whole journal. Like I went tromping out in the prairie with it. Alright, now we've got to glue this baby on. And what we're going to do, it's a little too short up here. I've got plastic sticking up. So we're going to put a little something something up there. I want more gold, not really. I have some on red, might be too many colors. To think for a second. I do have more gold. Put it on like it's a piece of tape. And I mean, a little bit of plastic sticking up isn't a huge deal. I don't love that though. I don't. I think I'm going to leave it. I'll put a piece of masking tape up there later. So this entire piece needs to get glued down, so we're just going to put glue everywhere on it. Ooh, idea. Hang on. This is what happens when I'm winging it, when I have you guys on. I have some wax paper bag happening throughout my journal, and it might be fun to crumple some up like a little ruffle up there. I think we're going to do that. So, decisive, right? Alright, so that's going to go along the edge of my plastic. I like some ruffle, some texture. It looks really weird right now. Alright, back to what we were doing. Glue on this entire cover piece. Every which way. Make sure you get the edges stuck down. Fabrifix is great and it does stick to the plastic, but you got to be really intentional about the edges with it. Because if it has any chance to not stick, it'll take it. Alright. I'll line that up with the hole underneath. Aim for something approaching straight. Adjust my ruffle just an inch. There, that's kind of fun. I'm going to throw a solid color something or other behind there for you. It's just a random art book. So you can see our piece. I like it a lot. And there it is from the other side. That's it. We have another Specimen Slide page. In the journal itself, I've got all sorts of grungy. And these are my pages here. Want something pretty neutral. I could do my eco-dyed stuff underneath. That wouldn't be bad. Darker would be better. Ooh, there. That works, huh? I could do it around the outside. It's a little too narrow. I think words are too busy. I don't like the words. I think the eco-dyed paper is the way to go. But there we have it. It's going to be such a grungy little journal. Be watching for updates on that because I'm actually pretty close to finished with it. I'm hoping to have this up by next weekend. And I hope you guys give it a try. If you do, let me know. I love to hear from you guys and I love to see what you're making. So please do share and have a great rest of your weekend. Happy crafting!